to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm jamildamji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am pacemorby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 168. It doesn't matter if you've never done a deal or you are working on your 10,000th deal. You are going to get something out of the next 90 minutes that you can implement into your business to make it more profitable, to get better deals, to get bigger deals. I am Brent Daniels, and I am joined by the incredible king of wholesaling, Jamildamji. How are you?
I'm great. Had a great weekend.
Busy weekend.
Yeah. Tariq Al-Musa had an event here in Scottsdale. It was a good time. The Avengers Mastermind was happening this weekend. That was a good time. I was there for a small bit in one of the evenings. Then I went live. Actually, you know what was really interesting? So, I don't do off-market stuff, right? But I'm like, I mess with everything. What I'm really
you mean direct to seller?
Yeah, I do off markets, just not direct to seller.
Yeah,
sorry. So I was like, whatever. Let's call some homeowners.
Nice.
So on Sunday, I went live and just started messing around, calling some homeowners, and really had a good time. Really had a good time with it. And again, the whole thing about it was just being playful with it, right?
Right.
So it was phenomenal, incredible, just a really good time.
Who did you call?
I was calling an empty nesters list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pulled from where?
From batch leads.
Okay, so batch leads, you pull out. Will you explain to everybody what an empty nest list is? How do you pull something like that?
Yeah, so an empty nesters list, right? That's people that are over the age of 40 that live in a house that's over 2,000 square feet, that has that are 2 stories, and has 4 or more bedrooms, and they've owned the house for more than 10 years. So what that does is it's a really small list.
Yeah.
But what does that tell you? It tells you that there is a pretty good shot that this person has or could be facing a sale or, thinking about selling anytime soon. The 2-story part is what really, really drives it home because, after the age of 40, your kids move out. What ends up happening to their bedrooms typically becomes the trash room or the storage room, So they start putting all their junk in there. And eventually, they're always saying to themselves, when are we going to clean it out? When are we going to move? When are we going to do this? So somebody calls and you just start talking, right? So that was where I was calling, and it was a good time. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of folks joined me live. I had about 400 people that joined me live while I was doing it.
Was this on YouTube?
Yeah, but for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't like when batch goes live, so they took the video down.
What?
Yeah, it's this private information stuff. So we got to figure out from YouTube what really we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. So if you were there and you saw it, it was a lot of fun. I'm just cold calling people in different accents.
Love it.
And it's actually pretty wild. So, having a good time with it. And really no one giving me a hard time. People are so scared. And the reason why I'm doing it in a playful, fun way is because, look, guys, you are taking yourselves too seriously. Not this business too seriously. You're taking yourselves too seriously. When you won't just get out of your own way and have fun with it. This is supposed to be playful. This is supposed to be a good time, right? If you aren't getting joy out of the day-to-day of this opportunity, and I call it an opportunity, not a job. This is a freaking opportunity for you to be able to make incredible amounts of money doing what few would do.
I know.
And if you're going to get so pent up, and if you're going to take yourself so damn seriously that you never pick up the phone, well, unfortunately, nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen.
And so my real purpose in doing it and being as, fun as I'm being with it is so that people can have an understanding that this should be fun.
It's
It
exciting.
should be a good time.
It's exciting. Listen, like if you don't have a budget to pay for people to call you, then what are you going to do? You have to reach out to somebody. So what are you going to are you going to reach out to property owners? Or are you going to reach out to the people that represent property owners?
Right.
And there he is, Pace.
Yo, what up? I saw Jamil in person today.
Yeah, I broke into Pace's house today.
Nice. Did he hit you with a 1990s Bud Light commercial ad? What's up?
No, he was not even surprised to see me. I'm like, what was interesting is that here I am. There's no one home. Monday's gone. Corbin's gone. Laura's not at home. He has the house locked up like a fort. Probably because there's been a couple security breaches at his house lately, right? And so, people just wandering in. I won't say his name anyway. So, Pace has locked up the house. Yeah. So Laura gives me all of the numbers to get in. So I just make my way there. What the reason I was there is that Pace had a guest in town, and he let that guest borrow his vehicle. Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening is that guest left town with Pace's car keys in his pocket.
Oh, geez.
And so that key had to find its way back to Arizona. And then that person who had it came to the office today in a huff, like, I got to get this key to Pace. And I'm like, Pace has about 8 cars.
He'll be all right.
I think he's going to be fine. He's like, I feel like he hates me. I'm like, I don't think that's true. But I'll take the key. I got an hour right now. Actually, I'm going to go to his house and hang out with him for a couple minutes, and I'll drop off this key. What was also fun is Pace and I are both giving away a prize tonight.
All right.
Like a prize is an understatement, dude. What are we giving away?
Well, Pace and I had the luxury of each, I say the opportunity and the luxury of each being able to donate $150,000 to the Tim Tebow Foundation to fight human and child sex trafficking, which is, I have 2 daughters. Pace has 2 daughters and a boy, and you have children. And this is a very incredibly difficult circumstance that people are like, it's terrible. It's and what Tim Tebow is doing is phenomenal. I mean, they're going into places and they're rescuing kids, right? Yeah. They need as much money as possible. They need as much as they could possibly get, as many resources as possible. Now, because we were able to donate that money, both Pace and I were invited to a mastermind where we would fly on a private jet and hang out with Ed Milet for a weekend.
Nice.
Golf with him and mastermind and connect with the other 10 people who donated $150,000.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Pace and I can't make it because we're on Pace's book tour. So we are giving those seats in the jet and the weekend to 2 givers, one from the Sub 2 community, one from the Astro Flipping community, and that'll be announced tonight.
Awesome. How do you determine who goes?
Well, in my Facebook group, people voted, and I went through and read everybody's case, and I do have a winner selected. How about you, Pace?
I don't have a winner selected yet. Thank you for that. I have all the names. What I did today is I did an 11-hour live today. And I had Sam Singh, Tanisha, Jeff Smith, Josh Duke, Angie Milanazzo, Justin Tumanowski, David Marsh, Chad Glover, Medium Wave Dave, Ken Lee, and his partner Greg, Tyler Townsley, his partner Eddie, and Justin Brigado talk about the dozens and dozens of deals that they have helped students with, not just Sub 2 students, Astro students, TTP students, helping each other do their first deal. And heard a lot of amazing stories about how people found not just deals to assign and deals to acquire for their portfolio, but a lot of like tear-jerking stories about how Sub 2 students were like getting pushed out of their hometown because of bad situations. And another student, Sub 2 student, found them a Sub 2 house to move into and save their life and all sorts of really cool things. So that list, I'm going to go put it in my Facebook group right now and have everybody start voting on it. And at the end of the show, we'll announce who wins. Jamil's got one seat on the plane. I've got one seat on the plane. This is not like some hypothetical, fake thing. Jamil legit wrote a check for 150 grand. I wrote a check for $150,000 for this opportunity. We are giving away $300,000 worth of prize today on Wholesale Hotline at the end of the show.
Awesome. So stick around. That's
around.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Where did they fly to?
We're gonna fly them into Dallas or Salt Lake, whichever's closer to the winner. I know which is closer to my winner. We're gonna fly them to the city, and then they will be picked up in a Gulf Stream, and the Gulf Stream will take them to Florida. Where in Florida are they going, Pace?
Somewhere fancy. They're going to be going for 2 days. They'll spend
to fancy land, Florida.
Yep, fancy land, Florida, and what they
FLFL.
Yes, FLFL. And they'll be working out, going to private dinners, golf, movies, masterminding, talking about marketing with not just Ed Milet, but 10 other very high-level people that are all making millions of dollars a year. And the point is for you to feel like a fish out of water. This is such a high-level group that you will feel like a fish out of water. And it is to purposely put you in an environment to change your life and be around people that you can learn through osmosis.
Yeah, the thing is that, once we each started getting around people that were doing more things than us, that were, generating more money, impacting more people, donating more, having just larger capacity to impact the world, you get uncomfortable with what you're doing. It's impossible not to. You can't be in proximity to people doing, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue and impacting thousands and thousands of lives and doing such incredible work in the world and not level up.
Yep.
Right. That is the secret. That's the doorway to leveling up. When Pace and I wanted to go to Grant Cardone, when we wanted to speak on Grant Cardone's 10X stage, what did? We bought a ticket, sat in the auditorium, and felt, what does it feel like to be on that? What would it be like to feel like to be in here to do that? And what happens, a couple years later, we smash it. And so it's just, that's part of the energy. You can't walk through a door you haven't seen yet. That's just how it is. So we're putting these people on a jet, surrounding them with people who shit cash. And that is going to be what is going to happen to their lives. They're going to level up. So be ready for the level up, guys. And make sure you shower every day. Don't make us look bad.
I really like what you just said right there. You said you can't walk through a door you don't. How did you say that?
You can't walk through a door you've never seen.
Damn.
You've been going 11 hours, Pace?
Yeah, I have a story to tell you. I have not been wearing underwear all day today.
I can attest to that, because when I came into his house today, all I did see was the hoodie, and I thought to myself, I wonder if anyone knows that he's pantless.
Why?
It was so early that I had to get going on it, and I didn't have time to really get set up.
He's not wearing pants. Yeah, just
you didn't have time to put pants on?
No, you didn't.
How much time does it take to put your pants on?
A lot of time. Well, when you got babies sleeping in the room right next to you, you like have to tiptoe and be all quiet. And so I was trying to sneak out, and I got all the way downstairs, and I was like, yeah, I don't have pants on, and I can't go back up and wake up the baby. So I just left it as is.
Well, so what? You're just
he had some he had a hoodie and some like little see-through, like a yellow
boxers?
negligee. Yeah, it was like a little yellow. It was like they were like it was like waffle chuddies. You know what I mean? Like it would, I don't know. It's like if
you can't even describe it.
If your shorts were like Crocs, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't, but I love it.
Yeah, it was like,
I feel like it's
there
like
were air holes.
Borat's
It was like
underwear.
yeah. I don't know, not Borat. No, they were looser than Borat's underwear, but they were hiked high a little bit.
Got it. All right. So what? You just went live to do it again, Pace? What was the agenda? Or what was the agenda?
So the book actually, my book launches today.
Hey!
Official launch today. So thank you guys so much for the support. Really mean it. And we officially have hit Wall Street Journal bestseller for this book. And today is the first day. So we were already like there a couple of days ago. So thank you so much. And today is the last day that you can pre-order the book and get all the cool bonuses for the book. And so I really wanted to make sure that I got awareness for that, is letting people know, like, if you haven't, it's a $26 book. Okay, I don't make any money from the book. I told Bigger Pockets, keep all the damn money. What I really wanted to do was make sure that you got the video companion guide that came with it and all the other cool free goodies that come with it. There's a contest running that's like, if you win, you get to come out to one of my golden ticket events. And if you win, also you get to spend a day with Jamil and I on the set of our TV show, hanging out. It won't happen this year. It'll be next year for season 3. And I really wanted people to know about the book tour that we were going on, which is, you can find the book tour dates at pacemorby.com.
I'm excited. We're going on tour starting. Oh, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll see Pace in LA on Wednesday. I'm taking my wife on a date. We have a house on the beach in LA. So we're gonna spend a night hanging out in our little house, and then we are on tour. Away we go.
How long you guys gone?
We are gone. What, 10 days, 11 days?
Yeah, we'll be gone like 11 days. It'll be a good time. Thank you.
It's gonna be a whirlwind for sure.
Thank you for your support, dude. Like I in my life, I could have never prayed for a friend like you. And I just want to like sincerely tell you thank you. You didn't.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world, bro.
I
wouldn't have missed it for Ed Milet. I wouldn't have missed it for a private jet. You're the shit.
Guys, can you please tell Jamil and Brent, thanks for being such good friends to me. Please let them know how much it means to you guys. I think our friendships inspire. Thank you, live audience. I love that I can hear the live audience. That's so good. Legit though, Jamil, I didn't ask you to go. I was just trying to not bother anybody about it. And you were like, what are the dates? And all of a sudden you're on planes with me and hanging out with me. And it doesn't benefit you in the slightest. It benefits me. And the fact that you're taking that much time and energy away, that most precious commodity, which is time, to come spend with me and support me on something. I cannot wait to repay the favor for when your book comes out. Thank you so much.
Love you, Pace. And everybody buy that book. You don't understand how it's going to change your life. It's a great book, and you did a phenomenal job, Pace. Congratulations, and I would never miss it. Excited to see you all. So if you guys don't know yet if we're coming to your city, put a link in the chat. Someone, we are. Where are we going? List off the cities here real quick, Pace.
Okay, no problem. Do you mind if I do a little screen share for a second?
No, not at all.
Do it.
Okay, this will be fun. So we've got, let's go.
Smash the like button too, guys. What are you doing? Stingy with them likes. They're free.
Stingy mob. Okay, so check this out, guys. Let's do a little presentation for y'all. Okay, and I'll show you guys exactly where we're going. You guys can find it out by going to Pace and Jamil Do America. It's been a while since I've typed in that one. Boom. Okay, so here you go. You got Seattle, Washington tomorrow. That is happening tomorrow. Los Angeles, California, Wednesday. Tempe, Arizona. We're back in Tempe. Jamil and I are meeting with TV execs to talk about season 3, or at least some people to collaborate and talk about some cool ideas that could potentially happen for our TV show. Las Vegas, Nevada, Friday. Saturday and Sunday is going to be hell. I'm so sorry for this. It's going to be Salt Lake in the morning. We're going to be at Steve Harwood's office, PCS. Denver, Colorado in the afternoon. Bigger Pockets will be there. Dallas, Texas. Houston, Texas. Atlanta, Georgia. Charlotte, North Carolina. Miami, Florida. And then Jamil and I will both be on Grant Cardone's podcast there. That'll be great. And then on the way back, I am going to Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know that Jamil will make it there, but we'll see what happens. That's the whole date.
That's what it is. Good time.
Awesome. So is it like a book signing?
Yeah, it's a book signing. Meet up. You guys, look. The fact is that every one of you who does not yet have at least five core homies that you can talk to, run deals by, communicate with, have accountability conversations with. But really just have that connection, that really deep connection of we're on this journey together, and no matter what, I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you go until I see you on the finish line with me. And at least get past that, first deal to this is my career. This is what I do for a living situation, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that this is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for TTP people, Astro folks, for Sub2 community to get together in all the cities that we mentioned and hang out. I mean, just look at this live studio audience we have in here right now.
Awesome.
Is there a camera on them?
Matt,
I don't
do we
think
have the
so.
camera on
I
him?
don't think so. But there's what's
bring him up.
What's really interesting, guys, is that look at this. This is an impromptu meetup, right? People are in here right now hanging out. They're going to be connecting, networking with each other, having friendships, possibly doing deals. This is what it's all about, right? Why try to accomplish this by yourself?
Do your first deal.
Yeah.
Get consistent.
Yes.
Be around the people that are doing more than you.
Yes.
Get consistent so that you can do this business full time.
Yep.
And then build a real business out of it.
Well, it's interesting. It's science, right? There's a momentum. Momentum. It's a physics equation.
Mm-hmm.
The physics equation of momentum is P equals mv. Okay, momentum is equal mass times velocity. Well, what does that mean? Right? If you want to increase your momentum, you've got to either increase your mass or your velocity. Now, we can all run faster. We can all try to do, go quicker, which is difficult because if you're first learning, it's tough to go fast.
Yep.
So you can't really build momentum going faster when you're just getting started. But what's the other variable in there? Mass. How do you increase your mass? You squat up. People. You increase your mass you increase your momentum by increasing your mass, and it's just physics, guys. It's truly just physics, and I think people don't get it. It's as simple as that. You really want to do this business, be with people who do this business. And you can't help it. The people who are going to win this opportunity, they're going to be around people that are bringing home $10 million, if not more. People who were donating a doctor's salary to charity. Think of that, $150,000. I got a few doctors in my family. I can tell you how much they make. All right? A doctor's salary to donate that. And then you're going to be around 10 of them playing golf, masterminding, hanging out, getting best practices, figuring out how they got to that point. Incredible.
How's it helped?
You
personally, like being around people doing more.
I mean, you were the first one.
Yeah,
Bro,
I agree.
I got to say,
100%.
He was. Look, man, Keegley had $8 million in the account.
Yeah.
And this idiot was still taking home $10,000 a month.
Right.
Okay. And I remember coming to a meeting with you and telling you that, and being like, man, I got $8 million in our company account, but Natalie and I live on $10,000 a month. And I said, what are you
in a rental?
Yeah, in a rental. And I said, what are you taking home, by the way? He was like, 160. And I said, what? And guys, this was years ago. So this a month. And this expanded a lot for Brent, but it expanded my mind because I was like, pardon me? 160,000. I didn't even realize that you could do that kind of stuff, right? And so that opened a gate in my mind. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I living like this? And it's not that I raided the Keegley account. No. I was like, okay, that's cool. We'll leave that there, but I have to figure out how I'm going to expand my life, expand my money. And that I did.
No, you did.
And so I have no doubt in my mind that when you get around people who do numbers, you do numbers.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, that's what I went to Cabo for. It was an 8-figure mastermind, 8-figure boardroom is what it was called. And it was all different industries, right? And from fitness to relationship to real estate to all these different things. And it was all people that were building 8-figure businesses. And it's incredible being around those people and seeing what people actually take home and what they do to grow and what their staff looks like and how do they stay motivated when they've already replaced themselves in a lot of different ways. And it's just really, really, really important to be around people that are doing amazing things. I mean, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants with you and Pace now, and it's absolutely incredible just seeing what you guys are doing. And would love to travel with you. It doesn't fit into my life plan at this point as much. I'd love to travel with you guys more this year, but I see what you guys are doing and Pace's book now. I mean, that just takes it to another level. And your book coming out later this year, and I'm already
guys,
putting
think
together.
About this. Yeah, Barnes and Noble is going to carry a book on subject to and wholesaling. What world are we
Where
in?
Are we at?
What world are we in? Barnes and freaking Noble. Come on, dude.
Yeah, when I was at Barnes and Noble yesterday with my kids,
Crazy.
I was just like, wait, what? My book is in Barnes and Noble next to freaking Robert Kiyosaki?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Brent, what'd you say you were working on?
No, my own book. Put together a book on whatever, on my strategy on going direct to the property owner, and my thoughts on building this up and being the bank and lending money. It's just a different strategy. It's a different path, but being able to go out there and share that.
Yeah, that's it. It's what it is.
And your vibe attracts your tribe. I mean, people are going to hear you. They're going to hear Pace. They're going to hear me. They're going to hear other people, Jerry Norton, and they're going to just naturally be attracted to that message or that journey that you've been on. And I just seeing you guys go out there and be brave enough to put together a book. One, it's a huge undertaking, but then go and promote it and get everybody excited about it. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It is incredible. And I feel grateful to be standing beside the two of you. And Pace, this week is going to be a whirlwind, but man, oh man, it's going to be one hell of a whirlwind. And I'm excited to do it with you, bro. Pace and Jamil do America too, motherfucker.
You guys gonna do the shirts?
No,
come on.
We don't. I wish we had the time. So one thing before we jump into Q&A, guys. The book has a lot of bonuses. Okay, so people asking, can we buy your book if we enter the to win things with travel costs included if we are in Mexico? Yes, you can. If you are in Mexico, continental. Okay, the continent. If you're on the continent. Okay, here's the link in the side chat for Amazon. It is the easiest and best way to go and do that. Appreciate you guys so much. The book, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The book is cool, but I promise you 1 3-hour YouTube video of mine is 10 times more powerful than the book itself. But it does help the collaboration with Bigger Pockets, and it helps with the adoption of creative finance into the mainstream of real estate. We're nowhere near where we need to be. But I appreciate the adoption of it and buying it. Bigger Pockets is so happy about it, and they want us to continue to collaborate. They've opened up, Brent Daniels just did a YouTube video with Bigger Pockets last week. I saw it pop up, and they've got Jamil writing a book on wholesale. Guys, the more we promote and do this, the more wholesale becomes mainstream, the more what we do is not this niche within a niche. It becomes something that everybody can attain. And no offense to BRRRR strategy, but I don't have any friends doing the BRRRR strategy. So that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't help me at all. I'm with the wholesalers and the people doing things creatively, the people that are out there finding and looking for deals that are not necessarily on the MLS. There's more than one way to find a deal. And Brent Daniels, I can't wait for your book. I hope it's called Rhinos or Horny.
It's one of the working titles. Yes,
yeah, that's a good one. I love this question from Maj. Maj says, will the book help David Green's perspective on wholesaling? How could it not? I mean, look, on creative finance, wholesaling, whatever it is. Today, somebody sent me a post some knucklehead made about their opinion about wholesalers, right? Mm-hmm. An agent's opinion about wholesalers. And I said, look, people are naturally skewed negative. It's just that is a scarce person with a scarcity mindset who truly doesn't understand the value that this individual. Look, your commission happened because this wholesaler completed the deal, right? But that's not what you focus on. You focus on the wholesaler's assignment fee being bigger than your commission. Well, if I'm in a locker room and I look over at someone's junk and theirs is bigger than mine, okay? What am I going to say? Well, maybe I should figure out what to do about that.
Good for you, bro.
Good for you, bro. Good job. Am I going to be like, yeah, I hate you. You suck. No, just figure it out, man. Figure it out.
Figure it out. You like that face?
I'm still thinking about Rhinos or Horny. I think
that's good.
I think that's the line, bro.
Rhinos are Horny is really good.
It's good.
Guys, get your questions in the chat. We want to answer any of your questions tonight. We'll just keep talking funny if you want.
I got a good one for you. A good one for you. I've had a handful of people that say, I haven't got my first deal and I haven't quit yet. Because what happened on my live, I had about 1,000 people all day long hang out with me for about 11 hours. And you hear all these people that are doing deals, raising money, doing deals. And they're like, oh yeah, we got 7 deals, all under 4% interest, sub 2 deals. One person's like, yeah, we made $97,000 today. was amazing. And I hope that it inspires people, but there are people that are like, I'm still struggling for that first deal. Brent Daniels, what do you have to say to the people that are out there still looking for their first deal?
Well, the first question I always wonder is how many people have they talked to, right? How are you finding opportunities? There's 3 ways to find opportunities and to generate leads. We kind of touched on it before, but one is traditional marketing. That's where you are spending money for people to call you. You say, I buy houses, and they call you, whether that be a bandit sign, whether that be a billboard, whether that be a TV commercial, whether that be direct mail, pay-per-click, whatever it is. It says, I buy houses. Contact me if you want to sell your property. That's one way. Now, most people don't start that way because it's expensive. Because if it wasn't expensive and we can get these big deals, everybody would do it, and then it would just get more expensive. That's what's happened. I started out when I joined Wholesaling Inc. back in 2016. It was all direct mail. I was still making calls, but direct mail still worked, and then it didn't. Right? The second way to get deals is to get referrals, to have people understand that you are the person that they need to go to when they want to sell their property, right? This is something that Jamil has done better than anybody else in the country, and that is to let people know, hey, listen, I want to buy these properties, bring them to me, right? It's a referral database. Everybody should build them, but it takes some time. It takes some time to build that up and to get those deals coming in. And then the third way is to be proactive. You can either knock on somebody's door, or you can pick up the phone and call them, right? And then that's how you build it. And you can either call the people directly that own these properties, or you call people that represent people that own these properties. Right. That's it. Yep. So where are you going to get started? So if you say, well, I haven't done my first deal, I would say, well, how many people have you talked to? Well, I don't know. I've talked to a bunch. Okay, well, that's your first thing. Number one is track how many people that you've talked to, because that's going to let you know how many people that you have to speak with to get a deal. And typically around the country, it's 200 conversations to get a deal if you're calling people that own ugly houses. Could be different. What would it be for agents?
It's not going to be any different. You know, the beautiful thing about that, though, is that you can even go on market. You know, you can even look on market and look at stuff that's been sitting 60, 90, 120 days and make some competitive offers.
But you got to call the agent.
You got to call the agent. You got to understand the numbers. You got to be able to have a conversation that makes sense. You know, look, when I'm talking to a real estate agent, they got a house sitting on the market 90 days. I'm calling that person with compassion. I'm calling that person with concern. I'm calling that person with the plan. I mean, let's talk about it.
Get them on your side.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You've got this house that's been sitting. I know you don't want it to sit. You know, you're not a person who just likes to do no business. You want to check, right? What's the motivation of your seller? Is this a real seller? Is this a seller that's kind of fishing for the best? Are they hoping for the best? Do they have to move? Is it a motivated situation? I looked at the pictures. House is pretty dated. You know, it's going to need a lot of work.
Yep.
So where are we? You know, and then we just have a real honest conversation. And that honest conversation will typically have the agent pulling a number out of me, right? Begging me for an offer, because you get to a point where you speak so much reason into somebody that they can't be unreasonable. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Right? There's so many ways to do this. There's, again, look, I'm known as not a direct-to-seller guy, yet I spent an hour calling people direct-to-seller and having wonderful conversations.
Great time.
Happy, great conversations. People being, you know, thanking me for calling them.
Yeah. Thanking
me for calling them. Like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way you're going to approach this game. The fact is if you're doing it consistently and you do it with joy, it won't feel hard. You're not going to stop. Yes, track the numbers, but don't count them. Don't count them. Track them, but don't count them. Why? Why does it hurt you so much to make one more? What are you notching 200 for? You're going to get there. Stay with it.
Well, Jamil,
it's conversations and offers.
Hold on.
What business comes down to.
How do I on the screen right now, how do I get started in a market that's very competitive and a very high market like South Florida?
Right there, Pace. I mean, there's the limits in this thought process. Life of a longshoreman. I love you, brother. I love you so much. And I'm saying this with as much grace as I can. First and foremost, the wording of your question says that, it's like you are looking at Mount Everest right now at base camp. And you're saying, how can I get started when it's so competitive or it's so high? What do I do? Well, first and foremost, you think about if it's competitive, what are there going to be? A lot of people going up the mountain. So if I get into trouble, what does that mean? That means that there's going to be people there to help me. Well, I like that. I'd rather be on a mountain with a whole bunch of people on it than an empty mountain. So that sounds safe. Great. Let's start. And then you take it step by step. That's it. Competition is phenomenal because it gives you more people to collaborate with. I say it all the time. I want to be where there's traffic. So if I play out in the street, I'm going to get hit.
That's it. Not only that, but I mean, if you know that there's a lot of people there, you know that people are making
doing
money.
Business. Yes. That means there's buyers. That means there's liquidity. That means that there's investors. That means that there's good title companies. That means that there's good data available. That means that there's so many resources.
Yeah, I don't want to have my shop inside of a shopping mall where there's a bunch of shoppers all day. I want to go put it in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, right. Where I can stay safe and quiet. So the reason why it's so important that you really pay attention to how you're perceiving things, because again, if you skew negative, guess what's going to happen to your life?
Yeah,
it's going to go down that way.
Plus, like the harder it is, the like better you feel once you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you've ever tried to lose 30 or 40 pounds or whatever, and then you do it, and then you do that, and then you're like, holy cat, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you did it. You try to build a business that's profitable, and then you go and do that. You look back and all of those initial thoughts that were going through your head and fears and insecurities, and you pushed through those anyway, and you succeeded. You're a different person. You're a different person. You become a magnet for the people that are in your life. And when you become a magnet for the people that are in your life, you really get to make an impact. I mean, it's really cool. So, yeah.
Taylor says, if I am a JV with someone on a potential deal, we submitted an offer. When should the sub-2 student and I sign a JV agreement or contract? What do I use? Trying to get my first deal done. Okay, Taylor, get a JV agreement now. Like the sooner you get it, the better. Always have good, clear agreements. If you don't have an agreement, make sure it's texted. Okay. At least text it, email it to each other, whatever you got to do. Get something in writing as fast as humanly possible, because I wouldn't trust my grandma to honor her word. Not saying that she's not a great and honorable person, but people's memories are really funny. I have a really good memory, and I forget that other people actually. I don't forget. I have a great memory. I don't realize that other people's memory is really weird. And it always kind of by default navigates to remembering how the deal benefits them more than it benefits everybody else. Keep it honest and keep yourself honest. Tell the other person, say, look, this isn't for you, or this isn't for me to protect myself. This is for you to be protected. I want to make sure that what you agreed to do with me, I am held accountable to it. Can we get this in some sort of writing, email, text message, or by the way, every sub-2 student is given a JV agreement that cost me, I think like $1,200 to write like 4 times. So there you go. Write a JV agreement as fast as humanly possible. Do you guys agree with that?
I totally do. I mean, we do the same thing in Astro. JVs, options, all these documents are important to have in place. First and foremost is it's the instrument you're going to use to get paid a title anyways.
Well, wouldn't you feel weird if somebody was like, no, we'll just do the paperwork later, and we'll just
I do like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not opposed to what Pace is saying. I think, look, if you want to get it papered up, get it papered up. I like giving people the benefit of the doubt, because if you screw me on the first one, I'd like to know right away so that I don't do business with you again, Mind you, I always know I have another deal coming around the corner, so I'm not in my first deal situation.
Why would people have a problem?
People don't
putting together the right
people don't have a problem with it. I think
it's just speed.
I think laziness and speed. Yeah, I think people just want to get to work, and I appreciate that mindset of like, let's just go. I'm cool, you're cool, let's get it done. But again, bottom line is to protect yourself. Documents are necessary, and it's how you get paid. So do it. Might as well get it done. It's a DocuSign. It takes seconds. Do it.
I mean, everything in your life is documented. You go get gas. Do they just say, hey, pump it until you feel like it, and then throw whatever you want in the thing? No, it's tracked as measured. Same thing with the grocery store. right? These regular everyday movements we do all day long are documented, tracked, and keep everybody honest. What about a marriage? Like, would you just jump into a relationship with people and be, move into their house for 20 years ago? Oh, we'll get married later. It's like, guys, just do the right. It's right, right? Your parents taught you right, or at least I hope they did. Your church taught you right. At least I hope they did. Get it documented from day one as fast as you possibly can. Jackson Reed says, thoughts on Detroit market, Brent Daniels?
Love it. Yeah, we have a ton of successful rhinos out there.
How horny are those rhinos?
Super. No, listen, there's a lot of opportunity. You just got to understand where the buyers are buying, and I think Jamil could speak to that better than anybody. But as long as you understand what they're buying and the price points that they're buying at and what their strategies are for some of those properties and some of those neighborhoods, you can do really, really well. I would challenge anybody that's in lower priced markets to go after properties that after they're fixed up would sell for 150 or more. Just because the assignment checks are bigger, and big assignment checks or flip checks, whatever you want to do, whatever your exit strategy is with those properties, allow you to quit your job faster. And I'm a big fan of that, and allow you to build up your company more. So I would try to not just stick in those properties that fixed up, they sell for 70, 80,000, and you got to get them for like 2,000 or 3,000. But for the ones that sell a little bit more.
I agree with Brent. The numbers are going to be really important. The thing about Detroit, though, I want to say a lot of investor activity. There's a lot of deals being done there. You definitely need to be very, very, very cautious on your numbers. Okay, because stuff is run down. Like the houses that we're going after, the ugly houses that we go after, these houses need a lot of work. And so the most success that I've seen are people going in at like 30%.
Oh yeah.
30% of ARV and
10% and some of those lower ones.
Some of the ones 10. Yeah. But you can get those deals. You can get those deals. You can absolutely get them. And some people are just happy for you to get them.
Yeah. Find where your buyers are buying. I think that's absolutely critical, because some neighborhoods they just won't touch.
Don says, what's the best way to let your sellers know how much you will make on a possible assignment fee if they ask?
As much as possible.
I'm a company,
yeah.
Right? I have a business. Businesses are in business to make money. My job is to, follow that line of thought.
I mean, I've probably been on.
I'm trying to do as best as I can. Honestly, I don't know what the number's going to look like. And if you want me to tell you once I have that figured out, I'm happy to tell you. You're going to see it on the documents, anyways. But the bottom line is, my goal is to make as much money as I possibly can.
Yeah, I've never had a seller ask me that.
I've never had a seller ask me how much I'm going to make. No.
In all the years I have ever been doing wholesale, I don't think I ever even had a seller know that I assigned a deal and bring it up to me.
I haven't had sellers. I've had agents reach back out to me and say, that was an interesting transaction. What happened? Like explain it all to me. And then I do. And they say, okay, cool.
I've had attorneys ask that same question.
I don't know. I didn't know this was possible. Actually, there was one seller. He was a Supreme Court justice of Arizona. And he sold me his house.
Yeah.
And I wholesaled it. And he was mad. He was very mad. And he said, I'm going to do all the things I can to you legally, which was nothing. And I got my $15,000 assignment fee, and he learned a lesson on contracts, and that's what it was. Look, guys, the facts is that we do what we do. And if we weren't in the market, if we didn't do what we did, the buyer that bought that would have never seen it.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, we're necessary to the process. And so every time a real estate agent or a seller or whoever has an opinion about it, well, did you like the fact that your property got sold? Are you happy that you got paid? Are you happy that you got your check and then everything happened? And do you not believe in the sanctity of a deal?
Well, who determines value?
The buyer does.
The buyer.
Yeah.
So if a seller agrees with the buyer's terms and price, they
That's
agree
what
with
it
the
is.
seller's terms and price. That's what the exit strategy is. A whole different conversation. It's a whole different conversation. So if you would have taken down that property and flipped it and made a profit, he'd be fine with it, right?
Again, this is all about ego. A lot of times, if an agent gets angry about it, it's ego, because they feel that, oh, now this seller is mad at me because I left money on the table. I didn't sell it for as much as I could have, and I didn't find the buyer that you found. Yes, that's true. You didn't, because you're not working with that buyer. I am, and that's life. Now, agent, if you'd like to learn how to make more money and find cash buyers, I have a course. It's called Astro Flipping. You can buy it, and we can teach you exactly how to do that.
And they should.
Yeah,
they should.
And I have them. I have many agents, many,
sure.
hundreds, if not possibly thousands of them.
Yep.
Tammy Sampson says, how would you approach a wholesaler with a cash-only property to offer them sub-2? This is my specialty. This is what I started doing like 5 years ago. I used to just go to wholesalers and go, just give me your trash leads. I see you got a lot of cash deals for sale. I don't want any of those. Give me your trash leads and I'll work those leads for you. Now, that's not the question you're asking.
No.
I'm letting you know that that's actually way easier to go, give me your bad leads. I'll work those bad leads. I'll come in your office. I'll hang out with your acquisition team. Let me just call your bad leads. Now, Tammy, when somebody has a cash deal under contract, it's a lot of work to go back and renegotiate and restructure. It's like, hey, let's go build a hotel, and then go to the hotel builder and go, hey, you should tear that down and build a teepee. Okay. It's a lot of work to restructure an entire deal. What I do, Tammy, is I go to the wholesaler and go, hey, I really like that house. If for some reason you can't get that wholesaled, think of me, and I could happily get on the phone with the seller with you and restructure it as a sub-2 deal. I have done that maybe 50, 60 times in my career after trying it maybe 100 times. So it works probably 50%, 60% of the time. They'll come back to you. And it works. But more importantly, they then want to send you more deals in the future, and you can work their dead lead. So the dead lead strategy is very, very helpful with creative finance. And Alice says, Jamil is crazy. I agree. Crazy thin. This homeboy is wearing shirts smaller than I wear. How much weight have you lost, dude?
I'm about 65.
Holy
65
shit.
pounds. Yeah.
Speed and convenience.
Cool.
People will trade price for speed and convenience. That's what a lot of agents don't understand. That's what a lot of maybe even other real estate investors don't understand, is people will trade the price in their property for speed and convenience. That's what we're looking for. We want people. I can't tell you how many countless times I went on appointments as an agent and a wholesaler, and I said, here's what you could get for your property on the market. Here's what I can give to you as a cash as is offer, right? With this, you're probably going to have to go through some inspections, but if not, if you don't want to do anything like that, I'll put it on the market as is. We'll put it on, we'll get as many buyers in here as possible, and and somebody will buy it, right? And they go, no, I just want to go with this easy offer here.
Yeah.
That is an option.
Yes.
We are truth tellers and truth seekers. We're not there to go, oh, this is the only offer that you're going to have, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, so you better take this one and then hardcore pressure them.
No.
That never works. And even if it did work, like, people would back out all the time because you don't close on these deals in 2 days or 3 days. These take time. Like, there's no way that those deals go through with hardcore pressure tactics. People make decisions all the time that they want to trade price for speed and convenience.
You know, there's many. In fact, I was talking to Vincent Clark, another agent that I worked with, for over 10 years this morning. And, we're going to make a YouTube video about it. So we'll release that for anybody that's working with agents. If you want to know, how do you build a relationship with an agent that lasts 15 years and do, the hundreds of thousands of dollars of business together, right? He's not a Monique Walker, but he's definitely a stable agent in my crew of folks that I work with. You do it with honesty.
Yep.
And what he always says is that I use the cash offer and I use the opportunity to work with someone like you as an option. It's a tool. It's not always going to be it's not always going to be the right thing for every seller. It's going to be the right thing for a seller, a specific type of seller with specific types of needs. A real estate agent that knows what they're doing and cares about their client is going to offer their client a multitude of different ways to disposition their house.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are going to be more riskier than others. You know how many? Here's the other piece. Who is suing, or who goes after the agent who advises their client, look, your house is in pretty dated condition. I would suggest you renovate it. Okay. Then that person says, okay, to get top dollar, you're going to need to renovate it. Then that person goes and hires a run-of-the-mill contractor who disappears with their money. Now what? Or they hire a run-of-the-mill contractor who does a pretty below average job. And now they've sunk $75,000 in renovations into a house that isn't going to sell or liquidate the money that they've spent.
And interest rates just went up.
What about all of that? What about the fact that the people that are in this business do this business by design? They understand what they're doing. I asked Tarek this question, and actually a lot of folks, I said, you're watching HGTV and then you want to go flip a house. And I looked Tarek right in the eyes. I said, Tarek, how many people do you think you've bankrupted, bro?
It had me crying. It was so funny.
Even Tarek was crying, right? He was like, yeah, yes, but again, that's why people actually get taught by Tarek, because he can teach them, not the TV version, the real life version. I'm going to teach you the real life version on how to do the fix and flip. That's why he's a great mentor for people that want to fix and flip houses, right? You want to learn how to do subject to, you want to learn how to do creative finance, right? You learn from the master of it. You want to learn how to wholesale. You learn from people doing business at it. That's what it is. Agents who want to learn how to be good agents learn from other good agents. And other good agents do what? Have awesome tools. They have resources. They have a multitude of ways that somebody can get what they're trying to get done. And that's how they're going to make it happen. Yep.
A couple of good questions up in here. Somebody asked about Pace. What do you think about the Tampa creative market? I love it. We bought 2 deals in Tampa, Lakeland area just this last week. I love it. A lot of people are doing deals. Go ask our Florida community, Sarasota, all the way through Tampa, all up in there, crushing it, doing a ton of creative finance deals. So there you go. Another good question about EMD. I think that, this is a good question. Howard says, do I always offer cash before I offer sub 2? 99% of the time, the answer is yes. However, if it's an expired listing and I already know they've been hammered with cash offers, I will come out of the gate swinging and just go, has anybody offered you to just take over your existing payments or to create some sort of seller finance situation? Call the seller directly. But outside of that, the answer is always yes, you offer cash. Even if you intend to buy the property creatively, I actually bought 4 deals creatively on my live today that will all go in my portfolio. And we submitted an offer today on 40 units in San Antonio, all seller finance, 3.5%. We'll get it. The agent and the seller have been hitting us up on it. And those all started with cash. They start with cash. You obtain the information, you hear all the stories, you get all the bunnies, and then you go, oh man, you know what? Maybe we can't come up to your number, but unless we go here. And they feel deflated. They feel like you're not going to get the deal done after you built all this rapport. And then you offer sub 2 and seller finance and you come in as the savior. John Galan, let's give this man a bell.
Yeah, boy.
Come on.
Nice job,
guys.
John.
Anybody that's done deals in the last week, please. Okay. Please. Here's what I say. Bow down. Bow doing.
Bow
down when you
How you doing?
Down. Does $1,000 EMD enough to put an offer for $150,000 or less property? I would say yes, 100%. Typically, when you're working with real estate agents, what do real estate agents want to
1%.
see as 1%? Okay, 1% EMD. That is kind of nationwide. Any real estate agents in here, by the way?
Hey,
Shannon says,
house. She's
Shannon,
busy,
I am
though.
here. Just so you know, Shannon, this is what happens because I love Brent and Jamil so much. I put them full screen a lot because they're 2 people on one screen. I'm 1 person. You don't need to see me this big. Look at this. 1 person doesn't need to be this big. Look how small it makes them. So a lot of times I hide behind them and I just run the side chat, just FYI. Okay. But any agents in here that would love to see an offer from a wholesaler that says $1 EMD for your on market listing that a wholesaler is reaching out? Well, Jamil, what do you think that agent's going to say?
I mean, they're just gonna laugh, right?
I got a letter of intent one time for Ernest. No.
A letter of intent
as the earnest money.
EMD. Oh, right. I don't know, man. Look, when people do beginner things, I start to really understand. It's not
how important we are.
Well, yeah, it's important to learn, right? And also to give people grace. I was reading a post somebody did in the Dallas-Fort Worth group today. I'm not going to call out anybody's name. They were upset because a wholesaler had put a property under contract, and apparently the wholesaler was marketing the property for below contract price. First and foremost, guys, don't do that. Don't do that. If you're under contract at X, you don't market the contract at X minus 50. If you don't have an addendum or some form of written documentation that shows that you actually have that for less money than your contract price, that shows a terrible intent, that you are, that you locked it up too high, knowing it, and then went and are now trying to market it for less, and then you're going to go for a massive reduction, and it just doesn't leave a good taste in people's mouths, right? And so there's also you have to do this with tact. If you locked up something too high, call the person and say, I've locked this up too high. I'm going to let you out. I'm going to cancel this contract immediately because I made a mistake in my numbers. It's another reason why you have to squat up with people and check your numbers. Please don't be locking up houses that you don't understand the value of. Yep. Stop it. Stop doing that. Go understand the numbers. Like, really make a play for it. You want to get a deal. You want to make money. Figure it out.
Take the business serious like a business, guys.
Yes.
Jamil, look who joined us today on the screen.
Hey, look at that handsome guy.
Brad from A&E, our boss at A&E jumps in. He's an amazing guy. He actually has done a bunch of real estate deals since he's jumped into our world. We really love Brad. A lot of people in the side chat are also recognizing Brad. So shout out, Brad. We love you. We love A&E. We love doing TV and making shows with you, brother. You're amazing. Thank you.
He's going to be hanging out with us in Charlotte. Actually, Pace. Brad's going to come scoop us up from the airport, hang out with us, and come to our book signing.
Yes, amazing.
So if you guys want to meet Brad Holkman, if you ever wanted to be on television, show up to the meetup in Charlotte. Don't wear pants so you can see what you're made of.
That's me right now, dude, standing here with no pantalones. Okay, we got. We're top of the hour. We got 33 more minutes left for the show. If you are a Sub2 community member, please go to the Sub2 Facebook group and vote on the amazing people. Jamil is going to give away a $150,000 seat on a private jet. He wrote a check for $150,000 to Tim Tebow's foundation, got a seat on a jet for a 2-day mastermind with Ed Milet, Chris Crone, and a bunch of other people. I also donated the same $150,000, not the same, but different $150,000 for the separate seat on the same jet. And unfortunately, fortunately, we will be missing that trip on the jet because Jamil is coming out and supporting me on my book tour that is on the same days as the 2-day mastermind with Ed Milet and 10 other high-level people. So we're giving away 2 seats today, one to a Sub2 student, one to an Astro student. And if you're a Sub2 student, go into our private Facebook group and please vote, because in basically 30 minutes, we're going to announce that winner, and really looking forward to it. Meg, thank you for watching me today. By the end of the day, it will be 12 and a half hours. So thank you for that. George, appreciate you coming and hanging out with us out on the road. Okay, here we go. Natalia. If there are Sub2 deal for pre-foreclosure with some equity in, should I offer seller finance plus Sub2? Yes, that's called a hybrid. Look on my YouTube channel for hybrid. Or in case of foreclosure, we are not offering cash besides covering what is owned. It depends. We've done a lot of foreclosure deals where the seller says, I'll let you take over my mortgage, no money out of your pocket, but I want 25 grand when you sell the house in 5 years. And so we'll create a separate, we call it a silent second. Okay, so that $25,000 sits in silence for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. So you can set it up however you need to get the deal done. Okay. A silent second, something I created and invented about, I don't know, 7 years ago, something like that. But we use that all the time too. Depends on the deal. Joel, how would you bring your offer across without offending the agent and make sure they come back with a counter, Mr. Jamil Damji?
Well, first and foremost, I would talk to the real estate agent and let them know that you have a number. Your number's not close to what the asking price is, but you know that this house isn't going to sell at asking price because it's day 98 right now. It's still sitting on the market and hasn't gone pending yet. So your number isn't real. I do have a number. And after looking at the amount of work, and I'm really good at assessing what this is going to cost just based off the photos that you've got in the listing agreement or in the listing here. And it's going to be roughly $100,000 less than your list price. So before I write it up, what are your thoughts?
Love it.
Talk.
Yep.
Right. You want to know why? You want to know why you're getting ghosted from real estate agents? Because you're just emailing them.
Yep.
You're just emailing them.
So good, dude.
You're just emailing them a number, and then they're looking at it, and then their mind is going to all the things that are going to go wrong once they talk to that seller. Look, here's another thing I've noticed about people, right? I have had people who have DM'd me or said some pretty terrible stuff to me on the internet. And then when I see them face to face and I'm like, hey, aren't you that dude that wrote that stuff? What's up, bro? How you doing? Man, you should see how people act. You should see how people behave when they're talking to you face to face or when they're on the phone with you. It's a totally different situation. I'm not talking about being a tough guy. I'm just talking about talking reason. Talking reason. You might be the person who can reasonably explain to this person why they're not going to leverage their relationship with their seller with an honest number. And you could talk that person into actually delivering the news, because this is the news, right? That's the news. That's what it is. You just gotta be honest, and you gotta have the courage to say it. And look, they might say they're not ready for that number right now, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Are you willing to present it? I'm not willing to present it right now. Okay. Got it. When do you think you'll be ready to present it? Because I'm happy to follow up. Because now you're figuring it out. Like, is the agent unwilling to present it, or are they speaking for their client? You can uncover so much by having the courage to call someone.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be from a place of confrontation. It just has to be from a place of reason. And when you come to people from a place of reason and you align with them, you should see the magic that happens. I mean, I'm telling you, people really come to terms with the reality of what they're dealing with when you are reasonable.
Hey, Brent Daniels.
Yeah, I love this one. How can a
realtor can be a wholesaler too? I'm a real estate agent, Brent Daniels.
Yeah.
And I'd like to wholesale too. How the hell does that work?
This dovetails perfectly into what Jamil was just saying.
Yeah. It's $1 million.
There you go. As an agent, I developed the skill of out relationshiping other offers. I don't know if that lands, but anyway, I would have the conversations with the listing agent, and the more I communicated and the more that I asked questions and was trying to pull out exactly what their property owner was looking for in the buyer for their property. As an agent, it gave me the skills to go in as a buyer to ask these listing agents about properties that they have that are sitting on the market, right? You're able to really understand what is going to happen with this property if they don't sell it. If they can't get this price, what are they open to? Are they open to anything creatively? Are they going to fix it up themselves? Are they going to just take it off the market and not sell it again? So there's a huge advantage that agents have, because if you're in a competitive market where there's multiple offers on every single property, you develop skills to be able to get your offer accepted. And it's different things that you could tweak in the contract, different ways that you communicate, the different ways that you build relationships. So that's really helped me in my wholesaling business. And as soon as I started pointing that talent and that skill towards making offers myself, I was able to get a lot of properties that are on market to accept the offers that I had. So I think that there's a huge overlap to the skills that you have as an agent and the skills that you have as a wholesaler. I just know when I was an agent, I was making 2.72% on average commission. As a wholesaler, it was between 10 and 16%. So for how can I get paid the most out of my efforts? It wasn't even close. It's 4, 5, 10 times the return of my time being a wholesaler than being an agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it really helped. It really helped me to getting the offers accepted for multiple offer situations with just regular, traditional, conventional sales really helped me to negotiate with them as a buyer.
Hey, Brent Daniels.
Yep.
How soon am I allowed to market my deal? Let's say I have a contract, but I have not yet submitted the earnest money deposit.
Yeah, I think I've sold deals to Jamil within 3 minutes of leaving the house.
As soon as the contract's executed, it's game on.
Yeah. So what I like doing, Master Chief, is I like doing a turbo scan. I think you could just do it with your phone now, but I like the turbo scan app. I'll take a picture of the contract and I'll send it right to title and escrow. And then they'll ask for the earnest deposit, typically by end of day the next day. But it just depends on what you put in your purchase contract for when you needed to deposit your earnest money. But as soon as you have that executed and you get your money in, I mean, you're rocking and rolling. But I've sold deals before getting the money in.
Hold on a second. Rudy J says, how the freak can you legally advertise a wholesale contract or property without having a real estate license? I thought you have to have a real estate license to really do this game, Jamil.
No, you don't need a license. And if you read that both ways, with or without, you can market. If you have a real estate license and you're going to market your contract, you do need to have a disclosure that you're a licensed real estate agent in whatever state you're in. And that's it. Just a disclosure is exactly what you need. If you don't have a license, then there's not a disclosure necessary. But the disclosure, if you are licensed, is absolutely tantamount to you not having any trouble.
When you sign a purchase agreement,
without a license, without a license, you're the principal in the deal, brother. You're the man with the pants.
Yep.
You're the person in control. You're the buyer on the contract, and now you're assigning your rights as a principal in the deal. And marketing the contract as the principal in the deal.
It's an asset.
It is.
You have an asset.
Correct.
As soon as you have signed it and the seller have signed it, that is an asset that you can sell.
And what is the legal term of that? Equitable interest.
Come on.
You have equitable interest in the property. And now that you have equitable interest, you can sell your equitable interest because there's value there.
Nathan, this is for you, buddy. He was up a little while ago.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Nathan.
Josh Keating, really good question here. Okay, really good question. Should I have title checked in the beginning? 100,000% of the time, yes. Immediately have title work on. Here's the problem. Can I beat up wholesalers just for a minute here?
Go for it.
Okay. I feel like wholesalers are doing such a poor job of actually finding buyers that they're just so aggressively going out and getting contracts that they don't want to bother the title company by saying, pull title on this house. Guys, if you get into a contract,
I don't think that's it.
Whatever it is, if you are under contract with a seller, is your legal obligation to open escrow and put in earnest money and start the transaction. You can't just hold on to the contract and sit on it until you find a buyer. You need to open escrow. You need to communicate with the seller. You need to communicate with the agent. You can't just sit on a contract. That's not how this business works, and it gives wholesaling a bad name.
I agree with you in opening escrow and getting the contract over to title. Here's where I'm gonna diverge just a little bit. When you have a close relationship with your title company, you come to learn that your title company spends roughly $600 to pull title and do a title search, right? Now, if you are writing a lot of contracts and you're taking a lot of shots, and let's just say your batting average is a little low right now, you're at 50%. you're not actually profitable to your title company. In fact, you're losing them just as much money as you're bringing them. They're not going to like you as a client. They're not going to introduce you to people. They're not going to open doors for you. They're not going to be the resource you need them to be. So how I like to do it is I like to say, look, title company, I'm going to open up escrow. I'm going to deposit earnest money, but I'm going to have you hold off on pulling title until I know how I'm going to exit this property, whether I'm going to fix and flip it or wholesale it. Give me about 3 days to figure out my exit strategy, then pull title. Call me back after 3 days, then pull title and spend the money. Because if I have to cancel this or if I have to renegotiate or something, I don't want my title company on the hook for that $600 fee. So Pace, that's the only thing. It's the only difference in from what you said I would do is I would have a little buffer period there out of respect for the financials of the title company, so that I have a vendor that actually feels like I care about their business as much as they should care about mine. What are your thoughts on that? I'm
on the same page as you. What I don't like is where wholesalers will get a contract with a seller and not open escrow. That
is not okay. That's unacceptable.
Open escrow and communicate with your title company. Don't just sit there. Here's the thing: is the seller is also going to reach out to the title company, guys.
Yep.
Okay. And what if you're trained by me or Brent or Jamil? You're gonna let's say I'm competing on a deal. Sorry, I've been sitting on my butt all day today, and now I'm like, I got to stand up. So let's say I'm competing on a deal against another wholesaler. I scorch the earth. I always ask the seller, I go, okay, so are the other contracts that are coming in or the other offers, are they saying large earnest money? Are they saying they're going to have their earnest money receipt within 24 hours? I ask these questions to your sellers. And so when you guys are not opening escrow immediately, you're going to get beat out by me. It's one of my competitive advantages when people are trying to tippy-toe into this business. You ain't going to tippy-toe into this business. I want you people doing things the right way, but I love what you're saying, Jamil. Have a great communication with the title company and let them know what your plan is.
It's good business, right? When you show your title company you care about their finances, it actually is. It goes a long way. And funny enough, I mean, I've used my title companies for legal resources. I've used them to introduce me to other buyers. I've used them to introduce me to other wholesalers, hedge funds. I mean, there's such a vast pool of resources for you and as soon as you align to your title company and you show them that you care about them, all of a sudden they like unfold in this like world of generosity for you, right? Because title companies want your business, and they'll send you to football games and they'll buy you dinners, and they buy out entire restaurants for networking events. I mean, title companies spend a lot of money to do business, right? So once they start to really get to know you, and once you start to really catch your stride and you do deals, and then you start thinking about their financials and as well, you're a dangerous combination, and you actually become a title company's favorite client. And
I think eventually you understand what deals are.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So your cancellations are like almost never,
they're rare.
Unless there's something weird with, that the seller wants, isn't able to sell or something like that. But for the most part, you build that great relationship, and they know when you bring them a deal, it goes real smooth.
Hey, Brent, I got a question for you, bro. Is it a turnoff to sellers when I come in with a half-assed, no, wait, that's not what he said. When I come in with a multi-page purchase and sell agreement, or would a short and sweet one be more appealing? I have Jerry's multiple page PDF. Let me give you my 10-second insight. I think a 3-page wholesale contract is kind of the magic number. There's not enough room in a 1-page document to protect your seller, protect your earnest money, and to protect yourself. But a 2 or 3-page wholesale contract typically is just enough. I think you look like a clown when you come in and you try and buy somebody's house with a 1-page wholesale contract, but maybe I'm wrong. Jamil, Brent, what do you think?
Personally, I like to use the standard board-approved real estate contract for whatever state I'm working in. I do read it line by line to make sure.
But that's if you're working direct to agent.
Even when I'm going direct to seller, I'll use a version of that as well, because it's the most fair contract that's written. It's in everybody's best interest, and to me, I just think that I like to have a contract that's pretty neutral. When you have one-sided contracts and you end up in court for whatever reason, judges hate it. Judges hate, especially the arbitrators, and they read these like 2-page teethy contracts that are like all in favor of the wholesaler or the buyer. And it's like, man, oh man, you really didn't like care about this seller at all, right? But when I can prove, hey, I came with a neutral contract, board approved by NAR. Arr. You know what do you know? Of course, I came in here with good intentions. I didn't come here to make anybody like, you know, do a bad deal.
Yep.
I came in here neutral, you know. And so for me, that my goal is always to be as neutral in the deal as possible. So I like the board approved contracts. It's just a personal choice though. The 2-3 pagers are fine, but I just like the board approved ones.
Yeah, I think that St. Clair put together the best purchase agreement that we use. He's done a phenomenal job, and I think it's a fair contract. It's one that pace is very similar to yours, and I think anything that Jerry puts out is going to be strong enough. But I agree with you. You know, if it comes down, I mean, hopefully you don't go to court, and hopefully you're not. You know, it's not something that
I've just been there. I've been there. I had a deal I bought from a wholesaler, and then I assigned it,
mm-hmm.
and then buyer sued.
Yep.
And so, you know, we're all our butts get dragged into court. And, you know, a judge typically in the first line is arbitration, right?
Yep.
So a judge is actually who does arbitration. It's always like a judge on their day off that wants some extra money. You guys think judges make money? No, they work overtime. They call it arbitration. It's interesting. So now you got a judge who's working overtime coming in to do arbitration, and they're like looking at the thing. And immediately what he said was, this contract is terrible. Like, you guys really, really wrote a very aggressive contract. There's nothing neutral about this. I mean, honestly, just based on the merits of what this buyer is saying and how terrible and aggressive this contract is, I'm almost starting to feel like you might have been wanting to take advantage of this buyer.
Did the seller have a problem with it?
The seller did not have a problem with it. The buyer, because you're assigning the contract, right? Yeah. And so there's teeth in it. There's just there's a lot of teeth in it. It's like, you know, buyer to do all due diligence, non-refundable earnest money. It's the wholesale. It's the world of the wholesaler, right? Yep. It's what we deal in.
Yeah.
But a judge, when he read it, was very much like, this is a pretty teethy contract, and it didn't seem very. Again, why I like the board approved contract so neutral, and why I like a really neutral assignment is it just flows it through, and it doesn't have a lot in there. It doesn't have a lot. Buyers sign stuff they agree to on Monday, and then on Friday they don't agree to it anymore. It's what happens. It's just it's the nature of the business, you know.
I agree with that. What I did with Sean St. Clair, an attorney that we all use. I had him go through the board certified real estate agent contract here and draft a wholesale contract based off of it.
Yep.
And
Smart.
that's the 3-page contract that I got rid of, like some of the stupid disclosures, like, you know, if there's ants in your pants and the blah, 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 all the weird things that are in there. Got rid of everything that's not pertinent to a real estate transaction unless there's an agent involved. And basically, even when it goes to other attorneys and people share it with their attorneys, like, oh, wow, this is like almost like this is a watered down board certified contract. So that's the way to go. I think I've seen Jerry's contract. Him and I share ideas all the time. By the way, shout out Jerry Norton. He's moving back to Arizona in 24 months. So shout out.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's building less than a mile away from me.
Incredible.
Yeah,
it'll be nice to have Jerry back home.
It'll be great. A lot more collaboration.
Why is he?
He's out of his time.
Is he out of his time?
He's done his prison sentence in Puerto Rico.
Oh wow! So does that? So he has to come back and start paying taxes again?
Yeah.
So you only get 4 years of not paying taxes? Is
5.
that it?
He'll get 5 total years. Yeah. But think about it. He'll sell an app, or he'll sell some big swath of real estate. He'll make a ton of money, and he'll be like riding off into the sunset, becoming what Brent Daniels wants to become, which is basically a lender.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, there you go. I think Jerry's, is he building next to, he's building Pace's next house. Yes. Yes. That is true. 100% true. I love that. Hold on. I gotta take a screenshot of this and send this to Jerry. I gotta manifest this. Jerry, go build yourself a $7,000 mansion. I'll buy it sub 2 in 5 years.
Perfect.
Travis Banks, shout out Travis Banks. I'm trying to partner with him on a 4-plex in Omaha, I think it is. Ohio, Iowa. It's one of those. I think those are all the 3 same city, right? They're just called something different.
Yeah.
Nicholas Sandoval says, Pace, do you look for a 12% cash on cash return when someone sends a depreciation asset that doesn't cash flow? No, because there is no cash on cash return on a non-cash flowing deal. There's 0% cash on cash return. Where the cash on cash return typically kicks in is year 2, maybe year 3. But if I buy a non-cash flowing deal, which I've probably bought a dozen this year, they don't cash flow, but they break even and they cover like the oh crap moments, right? The overages and vacancies and blah, blah, blah. And they break even after all of that. I will buy a house just for the tax benefits for the first 24 months. And it makes me, we've talked about this before. If a property saves me $50,000 in taxes, and then you divide that by 24 months, that property is technically cash flowing me $2,000 a month, right? So I look at it that way. And then after 2 years, it starts cash flowing. Then I start looking at the cash on cash return. So there's your answer. But the majority of my deals, I won't look at a deal unless it has a 30% cash on cash return. That's the benefit. Even anybody that understands multifamily IRR, internal rate of return, most people in multifamily world are looking for like 12 to 15%. We've got a deal today that we just got under contract, 41% IRR, projected IRR. Seller finance can do that, right? Whereas, anyway, whatever. Great questions tonight, by the way.
Great questions.
PB&J, is it better to open a general file with Sean St. Clair or just move forward and work with his team on what? Right? Like if you're wholesaling, I give out the wholesale contract. Brent gives out the wholesale contract. Yep. Jamil gives out the wholesale contract. If you're a sub-2 student, he's already written all the contracts 14 different times over the last 3.5 years. So I don't know what you would need to use him for unless you're using him to represent you to evict tenants, which he does that for me as well. And
Racky, I know Racky well. He's in Atlanta, Astro student, does really well. Unless you've got a legal reason to work with Sean, I don't think it's necessary. But reach out if there's a problem.
This is a great question. Hey, Jamil, is it a good idea to have an attorney on standby for all deals? And should I have multiple title companies if I do deals in different counties or just strictly one?
Well, let's take this bite by bite. So, is it good to have an attorney on standby? Yeah, I have an attorney that has a retainer, and if I ever need her, I just send her an email and she gets to work. Do I necessarily think you need to do that to start? No. I think that when I first started, what I did, if I ever needed a legal advice, is I worked with my title company, and guess what? Title companies have in-house legal.
Yep.
And you can actually call the in-house legal and ask them all kinds of legal questions, and they'll give you free legal advice. And so I leveraged my title company's in-house attorney for years until I had enough money to have an attorney on retainer. That's just how I worked. With respect to title companies and having multiples, I like loyalty, and title companies like loyal customers as well. But here's the deal. Not your title. For instance, I work with Fidelity Title here in Arizona, but my Fidelity Title in Arizona won't be able to close a file for me in Nevada. They have to go to a Fidelity in Nevada. Now, I can go to Fidelity and say, refer me to somebody who's investor-friendly in Nevada, and they'll do that. So what I would suggest, Sean, if you want to use multiple title companies because you're in different states, just have the title company you have the deepest relationship with refer you to one in another state. But I wouldn't do deals with multiple title companies in one state because you're not building a relationship there. You're just kissing everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. Seller finance versus sub-2.
Do we have any questions in the crowd?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yeah. As you get somebody a microphone, let me answer this for Dallas Bell. Seller finance versus sub-2. Which do you prefer? Both. We both work. They're great. They both bring the same benefits. I love them both. They have a little bit different elements. I give them both a 10 out of 10.
Hi.
Ingrid.
Oh my gosh, Ingrid. I love Ingrid.
You said that you have these, like, this might be a really big picture question. I kind of asked it on there, but since you want to one day just be the bank.
Yep.
Do you have different strategies to help you build that? For example, a whole life insurance policy. I'm opening my first one this week, actually. I'm kind of like nervous about it.
Yeah.
But my goal is also to be a bank.
Yeah, I talked to my family office, and they didn't suggest to set that up. So I don't know why. I could ask them. But yeah, they didn't have that set up. They put together all the paperwork to build a fund to be able to do that. But nothing that was a whole life. But it's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. Is it just so that you could keep rolling it?
Yeah, well, because and it's a way to. So I had a friend
I know
of mine.
people do it with Roth IRAs.
Yeah, I have like a what's called a 401k trust that I also use. I'm starting to use now to lend out as well.
Yeah,
but,
give me some money.
I am actually. I'm giving you $50K.
Oh, for the multifamily deal?
Yeah, the 600 unit in Houston.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
So, but I forget what I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had a friend who lent money, and he was caught up in wire fraud, and so somebody took his money. But luckily, because it was first secured with the insurance policy, it wasn't like all vanished. Technically, it's still compounding interest at least 4%. So it's not straight money dealing. You first collateralize it technically with the insurance policy, and then you loan against that policy.
Sure.
So that's why I like it, because it's it's literally how you multiply your money.
Yeah, they wanted me to go into the market a lot, like 30-40% into the market, and then pull money from the front, keep the money in there, but pull a loan from the asset of the money in the market, and then put it into and then put it into the it'd be in like S&P, it'd be in a fund, and then you just pull out that money and put it into hard money, so you're double dipping on both sides.
What does your family office say, Pace? Do you have
So Ingrid, I don't know that you know this. I feel like you do, but I pay my family office $11,000 a month to manage my money. They manage Chris Crone's money and a handful of other people's money. And their average client, I'm not this level, but their average client has an average net worth of over $100 million net.
Yeah.
And I'm paying them on top of the $11,000. I'm paying them $10,000 a month to come into Sub 2 twice a month and talk specifically about whole life, IULs, and all of the things that you have questions about. For the next 2 years, I will dedicate a $250,000.
Come over.
Yeah. I'll dedicate $250,000 in educating the Sub 2 community on infinite banking, because here's what I feel about infinite banking. I feel like the people that are out there educating on infinite banking are teaching it, but they're not actually showing people how to use it properly. And I want to show people how, like, the real people actually do it, because I actually don't know the answer. I don't know, because the people that are out there teaching it right now, I see them like, oh yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But how are you using it? It's kind of like,
that's a real concern, Pace, because the fact is that they may not be.
That's my thing. So what is great about my family office, Ingrid, is they said they will come in and show examples of what their clients that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars are actually doing to utilize those types of policies. And then what I'm doing is I have an IUL I set up with a company a couple of years ago, very highly respected company. They're all over YouTube. I can't get them to give me any education or any time. They won't come in and teach me anything. So I go, all right, I'll just pay somebody to teach me this stuff, and it'll end up being my family office. So I don't know all the answers, Ingrid. That's why I'm going to pay for it. And you get to sit by my side and learn with me.
That's exciting.
That's exciting, she said. She's excited.
Yeah.
Pace, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the show. I think it's time for you to go into your Facebook group and make a choice.
All right. You want me
Who's getting the trip?
All right. So Jamil, tell everybody what the trip is one more time for people who just joined in.
So for those of you that are unaware of what Pace and I are giving away, Pace and I each donated $150,000 to the Tim Tebow Foundation to help fight against child human sex trafficking. What we got in return for that generous donation was an opportunity to travel on a private jet with Ed Milet to Fantasyland, Florida, where we will golf and hang out, mastermind, learn from, and be with 10 others who each donated $150,000. What Pace and I will do is get your butt wherever you are in the country to Dallas or Salt Lake City, whichever is closer, where you will join the other lucky individuals who are all making enough money to donate $150,000. and Ed Milet. So you'll be hanging out, flying on a Gulfstream. You will get to learn from people and level yourself up and be around 10 other individuals who have figured it out.
All right. Have you picked your person?
I do. I have.
What do you got? Tell us the name.
Can we get a drum roll in the audience, please? Come on.
Who's going first?
You.
You are.
All right. So from the Astro community, this individual has demonstrated a tremendous amount of selfless giving. He is one of the more and most, and now you know it's a he, one of the more and most advanced students, but on a weekly basis dedicates and donates his time to people. He's always available to help do a deal. I love him very much. Mahmoud Issa. Mahmoud Issa, you are the winner.
Oh, Mahmoud's awesome, man.
You are the
Mahmoud's
winner.
Awesome. That's a big deal, dude. And I have something to announce. I'm so excited about this. All the people that got voted in. Let me give you a shout out to all the people that we nominated today. Sam Singh, Tanisha Epps, Jeff Smith, Josh Duke, Angie and Dom Milanazzo, Justin Tumanowski, David March and his amazing wife, Siobhan, Chad Glover, Medium Wave Dave. Don't you love that his name is Medium Wave Dave? Remember Cat's Deli? We had it with him in New York City.
He's great.
He's great. Ken Lee and his partner Greg, Tyler Townsley, Eddie Marin, the Bash Brothers, Justin Bragado. We also had Carolyn and Myron Briley. We also had Elena Tang. And the person who won today is one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, Tanisha Epps.
Whoa!
Tanisha Epps. She is such a special human being. Now, I know she doesn't play golf, but she gets to hang out with all these amazing people. She gets to be around Chris Crone for 2 days, Ed Milet for 2 days, handful of our other friends that are all making $5, $10, $15 million a year take home or more. Ed Milet makes way more than that. But you're going to be around people that are making big moves in their lives, and just being around that energy, I think, will be life-changing. So, Tanisha, I will reach out to you. Jamil will reach out to you, Mahmoud, and get you guys where you need to go. If you guys are in Sub 2, please go into the Sub 2 Facebook group and give her some love in the comments and just say congratulations. And if you have her cell phone number, text her. A lot of people have her cell phone number because she's so selfless and helps so many people.
Same thing for the Astro community. Go and just dogpile on Mahmoud right now. That man has given up so much of his time and so much of his knowledge to so many people, and he's helped so many folks get their first deal. It was really hard to make the decision, but it was well-deserved. So congratulations, Mahmoud. Congratulations, Tanisha. You guys deserve it. And that is Wholesale Hotline number 168, guys.
Boom, boom, boom. Love you guys. I think Matt's like, is Pace doing it or am I doing it? Well, you know what? Here you go.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.
Yeah.